Welcome to the Bi-Geekly Report, your bi-weekly take on queer representation in geek pop culture. I'm your host, Elle Sanchez. Today we're going to talk about Steven Universe, which is one of our favorite pretty queer cartoons that's on the Cartoon Network that we all love. Specifically about an exciting development in season 5 and some of our favorite queer moments from the show. Steven Universe is in its 5th season now. They've released about 4 episodes around Memorial Day weekend. But during San Diego Comic-Con, they played a clip from new episodes coming in later for season 5, which haven't all been released yet. And in this clip, they introduced a couple of new gems. And also, it appears that Lars, after being resurrected, is now a space pirate. But the most exciting thing in this episode, or in the clip that they released, is that there's a new gem named Emerald, who fans paying really close attention could notice sounds a little bit like maybe one of our favorite local drag queens, Jinx Monsoon. And turns out it is, which is very exciting. For those of you who don't know, Jinx Monsoon is a very famous drag queen who is our hometown hero here from Seattle. Also won the 5th season of RuPaul's Drag Race. They are amazing. And not only that, but they are the first, as far as we know, out non-binary person to voice a character on Steven Universe, which is super amazing. Everyone here at Jet Space Magazine is super excited for Jinx. We love them so much. And congratulations on being on Steven Universe. How exciting. Also, side note, I might know Jinx personally, no big deal. Actually, they're good friends with one of my good friends. That doesn't matter. But the point is one time we stayed in an Airbnb together, and Jinx told me that I reminded them of Amethyst from Steven Universe, and that's given me life every day since then. Now we're going to talk about some of our favorite queer moments from the show. And by our, I mean basically my favorite queer moments from the show. So the fusion dance in the show is what happens when 2 gems, or sometimes a gem and a human, come together to make a fusion gem. And there doesn't need to be a fusion dance every time it happens. Sometimes it just happens in, if the 2 gems are the same kind of gem, they can just fuse without a dance. Or in some situations, if there's just an emotional heightened moment between 2 people, they can't. But none of that matters. What's important is the fusion dance, which happens between some of the gems in the show. And they have to, it's basically them using their 2 separate kinds of rhythm and then coming together. And what ends up being, depending on the gem, specifically Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, a very gay dance between each other. And it's not only kind of great, it's at moments, it's hot. I know they're cartoons, but it's hot. It's like attractive, especially the one between Garnet and Amethyst. There's a lot of really smooth moves. Garnet has smooth moves, and I also know Garnet is not a real person, but for real, Garnet is so hot. And all the dance fusion moves, I don't know if it's as gay as it is for me when I watch it, but it comes off very good. It's a relationship between Pearl and Rose. And when I say relationship, it's more so Pearl's feelings towards Rose, because they're somewhat unrequited, as Rose Quartz, Steven's mother, obviously chose his father, Greg Universe, in the end to be the partner she was with before she gave up her physical form for Steven to exist. But Pearl clearly had very strong feelings for Rose, which is hinted out throughout season 1. Then in season 1, the episode's called Rose's Scabbard. Lion finds the scabbard for Rose's sword, and Pearl kind of holds on to it and tells Steven stories about his mother. And when she does, it's clear that her memories of Rose are pretty romantic and more than friendship. She talks about how beautiful she was and how much she meant to her. And as she talks about her, it seems like she's grieving her in a way you would a romantic partner. So it becomes even more so obvious that Pearl had feelings for Rose. In the episode Sword to the Sword in season 2, Pearl talks a little bit more about her feelings for Rose in an instant because Connie wants to learn sword fighting from Pearl so she can help protect Steven. And while Pearl's teaching her about that, she sings a song in which she talks about protecting someone you love. And she has memories in that moment of protecting Rose and her feelings for Rose. And it's very sweet. Pearl meets the pink-haired mystery girl. In an episode in season 4, Amethyst is supposed to go to a rock concert with Steven's dad, Greg. And then Greg bails on her kind of last minute to play cards with another friend. And Amethyst is pretty upset, but Pearl and Steven agree to go to the rock concert with her. On the way to the concert, they stop at the donut shop to get some snacks. Also, Amethyst had made Pearl change into a cooler outfit, which actually just comes off as kind of a gayer outfit because, of course, she just puts all denim on. They're all hanging out at the donut shop, and then this pink-haired human girl walks in, and Pearl literally drops her apple juice, which I think is maybe a metaphor for something. But this girl it's clear that Pearl is immediately attracted to her, mostly because she looks like a human version of Rose Quartz. So clearly Pearl has a very specific type, but also the girl in the cartoon is super hot. Amethyst sort of eggs Pearl on to hit on her while they're in the donut shop. And of course, because Pearl's kind of a dork, she kind of just acts awkward and the girl walks away. But eventually later on the episode, they go to the show and she tries to impress her by being a rebel, and it's very cute. But in the end, she's herself perfectly, which makes sense, and just talks to her about being a gem and the universe in general, and gets her number. It's very adorable. She refers to it as, she gave me a code. I don't know what to do with this. And Amethyst, of course, is like, you got a number, which is awesome. And then it ends with this kind of background music that sounds very Riot Girly. It's very cute. It reminds me of all the crushes I had in the 20s. Ruby and Sapphire are two female identified gems that fuse to create Garnet. And they're basically two gems that are so madly in love with each other that Garnet is literally made of love, which is so beautiful. I'm like, even talking about it right now, it's going to make me cry. It's one of the most beautiful things about the series. When they show Ruby and Sapphire, when they're not fused, like in their origin story, when they first kind of fall in love, it's the most beautiful thing. They dance by a lake like a Disney film, like Sleeping Beauty. It's so adorable. And later on, when they aren't fused, they just keep flirting and being cutesy with each other, even though they've technically been together for like 3,000 years. It's so cute. And they also just kind of came together when everyone from their home world thought it was disgusting and horrible that two gems were fused, because they were the first like two gems to fuse in the way they did. And it's also kind of obviously a metaphor for kind of gay relationships in general. But it's very beautiful. Ruby and Sapphire are definitely one of the gayest things about Steven Universe, and I love it. The number one queerest moment or thing from Steven Universe that I love the most is the character Stevani. Stevani is a fusion between Steven and his best friend Connie. This fusion is kind of the first of its kind amongst the gems, because they've never seen... Steven, of course, is half human and half gem, but they've never seen someone fuse with a human before, and Connie is just a human person. So it's a new thing that they've ever seen, and so it's groundbreaking in that way to them. It's also groundbreaking to us as the viewer, because basically Connie and Steven are male and female fusing to create what is basically a non-binary character, probably the first non-binary character we've ever seen in a children's cartoon. Stevani hasn't expressly said on the series that they identify as a gender non-binary person, but they do use gender-neutral pronouns, and their gender has been described both by Garnet in the series and the creator Rebecca Sugar as being an experience. Also, the way they present on this show is pretty androgynous, and for me, their gender kind of is similar to my gender presentation, which I kind of describe as hard femme, soft butch. It's like an in-between, and that's kind of what Stevani looks like for me. So for me, I find this character very inspiring, and I love that they have this person on this cartoon that a lot of kids can see. Those are my personal favorite queer moments from Steven Universe, which is an amazing show. If you haven't watched all of it, you should. What are your favorite queer moments? Maybe they're different than mine. Maybe they're the same ones. Maybe you have more specific details about it. Share it with us in the comments below. Steven Universe is a cartoon that's important for representation, for education, for people of all genders and sexualities, but also it brings the queer community together. And I can prove that today, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing these like Steven Universe leggings. I can come in right there, but they have Cookie Cat. They're covering Cookie Cat. You can, I don't know, hit me up and I'll tell you where you can get them. But I wore them today, and when I was at a coffee place, I won't say which, one of the baristas told me that I had a, quote, dope outfit on, and then proceeded to hit on me. So it's proof that the show brings us queer people together, and she's pretty hot. I probably should get her code. I should ask her later. Thank you for watching the Bi-Geekly Report. Don't forget, if you like the video, to like it digitally. Also, you can subscribe to the page and share it with all your friends. I've been Elle Sanchez with the Bi-Geekly Report with Jet Space Magazine. Join us next time. See y'all later.